are still mostly unnamed party. A lot of you were running away in sheer terror, away from some sort of dream creature that was trying to get to Margot. You managed to play hot potato with your ally well enough that you got it away from her, or away from the insectoid snake-like creature, and got Margot to the location of safety where she could get herself out. You were all beaten, broken, terrorized, engulfed, many of you engulfed in your worst nightmares, which several of you have not disclosed what those were yet. But you kind of saw some shit. And you managed to succeed in your endeavor to get Margot out, to protect her. And then you all severed your own connections to that dream space. Wasn't exactly a dream, but it was more like a place where dreams go or move somehow. And you ended the night with a bloody juice box, a lot of questions, and an agreement to kind of pick this back up a little bit later. So all of you have now taken a short or a long rest. You have kind of come back to your senses, and Margot, by doctor's orders, has been required to stay in the infirmary, and the rest of the staff is gone, off doing other tasks.
Does Leo's soul loss finally go away?
It does. So, Leo, let's start with you. Well, actually, as you kind of awake, did you stay in the infirmary, or did you want to stay somewhere else?
What are my options here? I mean, Leo likes to think about food in the morning, but I mean, he could have stayed here overnight, but in the morning he would probably buzz off, especially if everyone's sleeping.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, very easy to go around, find a place where you could get a bit of grub and do a little bit of exploring. What do you have in mind?
Yeah, I mean, he would, so remind me where we're at. We're in the infirmary of the School of Magic?
Yep, of Whitewater College.
Okay. Yeah, he would just head to the kitchen area, try to get some food. That would be his first thing when he wakes up, especially if everyone's asleep. I think he'd have Kenji with him as well, because Kenji was in his dream.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You and Kenji both follow your curiosity and sense of smell, and you're able to get a kind of a light fish-based breakfast. Seems like a lot of their food is fish-based. They have easy access to it.
Kenji's down. Leo's good with it. It's not his first choice. Makes him think about the headmistress. Did we not get to have that walk because all this happened with Margot?
You did get rather distracted from that, yes.
I mean, that's fair. She knew what was happening too, so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after breakfast, he'd probably hang out and wait around for her to show up. I don't know if she's already in her office at this point. That's probably his next intention, is to apologize for missing the walk and see if they can do a rain check.
Okay, gotcha. Roll me a percentage die.
44.
44. Okay. As you go to her office, it is locked and does not seem like there is any response at the moment.
Yeah, so I mean, he'd probably just chill around in the lobby waiting for people to show up. Let Kenji jump in the pond and kind of wait for her.
Okay.
In the meantime, he wants to take a look at the crystal that was. So, Fuzz's crystal, did it completely shatter or did it just crack?
It cracked and became dull inside. Almost like, and like the inside of his crystal still has like a little bit of remnant of his color, as if he had like a paint bottle or something that had some like dried paint dust inside that had kind of like lightly coated what was in there previously.
Yeah, he just wants to kind of look at that. And I mean, I don't think we've talked about what a repair process would look like for a crystal, but he would maybe do that investigation to see if he could figure out a way to fix it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. Oh. Yeah, I'd say this would be an investigation check. And I'll pause the game now. Okay, 17. You know the process of repairing. The problem is that you don't have the tools to do it. First step would be to gather the tools that would allow you to repair it. And it basically requires you to allow a portion of your soul to essentially like clean it out first, and then allow like little portions of yourself to fill in the cracks. And it requires a certain kind of magical tool that kind of almost like a soldering pen that lets you be very specific. It makes you a little bit ill to do it, not like soul loss ill. Just it
Maybe
drains you a little
exhausted
bit
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
it is plausible that you would be able to create said device here if you could find a few materials.
okay. Would I know what materials I need? Or, I mean, I imagine I need metals or something.
Yes. Let me get back to you on that, because you're right. We never did talk about this process.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, what he would maybe do then is take out his notebook and make some notes about what the tool would look like, just based on his memory, so that maybe he could, show it to people.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of starts having some people help you out with trying to redesign it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alrighty.
And also, I mean, I'll just note this, that Leo is interested. Before we get out of here, he needs to find an armory of some sort. Since he's been carrying that short sword, he wants a shield to go with it.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Let's see, who else would be up earlier than the rest? I imagine Seamus is chilling as long as he possibly can.
Late sleeper, we call him.
Yaslin probably wakes up fairly early when she can, and when she's not exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she wouldn't she would be outside if anywhere.
Okay. So, back outside on the grounds, maybe? Like where she was kind of meditating
Yeah.
before, or where else?
Yeah, probably around the area she was meditating before. And I think what she's kind of doing is like an early morning workout. Stretches first, warming up. She doesn't usually pick to fight with her hands, but she knows how, and so that's what she's working on right now, rather than swinging around her axe, which would, she thinks, probably not be the most appropriate thing to do on, like, school grounds.
On a campus.
Yeah.
Okay. What's kind of going through her head, or is she just kind of waking up with the morning routine?
She's kind of waking up with the morning routine. It's kind of just like something that's been a little ingrained in her, so she's going with the flow, but I think also her mind is kind of replaying that realization that not everything is her fault when she rushes into things.
Okay.
And that really, yeah, her intentions, it's her intentions that count.
Sorry, you kind of cut out for a second. Can you repeat that last sentence?
So she just like comes to the realization that really it comes down to her intentions and not so much just her actions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Alright, so Yaslin kind of doing a little bit of shadow boxing, morning routine, working out. Margot.
Do imagine, like,
Oh, go ahead.
maybe as I woke up, I walked past Seamus waking up on the ground and then scurrying up onto the wall. Just like, because we all kind of just warped in there, and I feel like Seamus would be really uncomfortable sleeping on the ground. You'd have to, like, get upside down.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think that if Seamus has the ability to crawl up into a corner somewhere, he would.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, like, I might opt for the floor in a more public space. I, like, some of Seamus's behavior of, like, letting it known that he is kind of the way he is something that he hasn't always been open with, and has been more open with this group over time, I think, than he would be normally. So, yeah, it depends. If everybody is gone from the room, then he would be up in the rafters, but otherwise, he'd be on the floor.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I think the staff members, and really it's only this group, even Dauphin is away as you guys wake up, so it is just the normal crew at the moment.
Yeah, probably slink away, but also keep Dro's bag underneath him.
Okay, Dro, what are you up to?
I think Dro would been awake most of that, but playing that, like, keeping his eyes shut to try to get people to think he's asleep, but just listening as people walk out, trying to distinguish, okay, Dro's been with this group, he's studied them, can he tell who's going, who's staying? I think after a while he would kind of peek open his eyes and see Margot and Seamus still left in the room.
Yeah, because I imagine Margot is pretty freaking tuckered out.
Margot's beat,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll get as much sleep as she can before the inevitable interrogations.
I think Dro will quietly get up and just start walking around the college, just thinking what's been going on and recalling the past events and recalling each individual he's been with. And I think eventually he would look for Yaslin. which I don't know if it'd be a little bit before he finds her, because he would just again go through the college, take in what he sees, and just realize that his life is now a part of this place, and hasn't really had time to really soak that in. And then eventually, without hesitation, like he always does, he'll try to look for Yaslin.
Okay. Yaslin kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in this space.
Okay.
She's not a typical educated type. And you do find her out on the grounds, just kind of doing her morning guided practice.
I think he would just stay off in the distance a little bit and just kind of keep watching, but just taking in the outside too. And just relaxing, hopefully, for once, without any chaos kicking off immediately. Knowing that Margot's safe, asleep. He saw Seamus. And now he sees Yaslin. I think he's just, for once in his life, shutting up and taking in what he sees. I don't think he's hiding per se, but not wanting to disturb.
Yeah, just kind of being there and taking it in. Okay. About what time do you guys kind of start to reconverge, or is there anything else you would like to do beforehand?
I think if Seamus wakes up in the room and everybody else is gone, but Margot is still there, that I would wait for Margot to wake up, but then would approach her like when she's up.
I mean, she would eventually wake up, but I don't think she's getting out of bed yet. I think she is still recovering.
She better
It was a
wake up.
long, hot period of time into a long, scary period of time.
Oh, I'm glad you're back here with us at least.
Yes, thank you again for coming for me.
Top of the afternoon to you.
I don't typically sleep in so late. It's surprising, to say the least.
Yeah, kind of early, but you know, sometimes people around here, they get up early.
Yeah, I suppose everyone else is gone?
Yeah, I suppose they've all scattered off a bit, but I don't know what you're planning, but I think you've got some answering you probably need to do for the group here.
You're not wrong about that, but I think the group owes me some answers as well.
Do you think we should gather them up here, or would you like to go sit down somewhere maybe and talk this out?
I don't know if I'm allowed to leave here yet. The doctor hasn't said.
I'm pretty sure you can get up and go whenever you can get up and go.
Do you know of somewhere quiet we can have this discussion?
I saw kind of a conference room when we were making our way through the halls. Maybe we can borrow their room there.
That could work. I may need your help getting there. I am still a bit tired.
I'm sure we can arrange something.
Before the others come. Because, as Dro said, I can be a bit forward and I don't want to put something out that perhaps you don't want the others to know, but I am curious. What is it in your darkness? There's something alive in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know how it all works, to be honest. I've done some studying trying to figure it out. It seems I was... Well, you know, not everybody's given an instruction manual to life. Some, if they had, would have maybe more of a niche chapter about just them, it seems.
That is fair.
But there's something about who I am or what's in my blood that has some kind of ties to the dark. Do you know much about vampires? Do they have them where you're from?
Do I?
Oh, sorry, I had missed the question.
Yes, if I knew about vampires.
Give me a history check. Because of your background, DC is a little bit lower than it might be for others.
That's not great. It's only
It's
a
not-
10.
It's not that low.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Do you know about...
You've of course
blood
heard
bugs?
of vampires, but the details are rumory and vague at best.
Do you know about blood bugs?
Blood bugs, was that the question?
Yeah, that's my question to her. Because I'm thinking that there's probably some kind of animal equivalent that does blood-sucking sort of things, but they're probably not called mosquitoes or bats here. So blood bugs was the name I came up with.
Nice.
Gosh,
It seems possibly descriptive across universes, so that's where I went with.
Yeah.
I have heard of vampires. I don't know much of them, but I've heard the word.
They seem to have powers, supernatural, as it were. I don't know for sure where it comes from, a shadowy realm or the darkness itself. A deal somewhere down the road with dark forces. I don't know how it came about. But I know that my kind has curses of sorts. And part of that comes about with ill omens following them about. Some call them hellhounds. I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign that it's coming about. I heard it as a child. But this is the first I've met it.
Well, looking at the rest of your group, I would say you're certainly not alone in that. And for things like this, I would look at it from a more tactical perspective, perhaps. I am, as you said, fortunate that I know a lot more about the origin of my powers and such, but not many do. Like, Yaslin, I'm not sure if she knows, or Dro even. So, I would just look at the advantages such a thing could bring you. If they are beneficial in protecting you and your allies, maybe don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
That's some sage advice. I'll take it into the place in my chest where my heart would be.
Of course. And do the others know of this?
I know some of it. I think we're still kind of getting to know each other a bit, but it certainly makes me wonder how it is that you came about our group. And I'm curious if there's somebody that sent you.
Perhaps. It may be fortuitous for me as well. I have yet to see. I mean, you did save me back there. You all did.
You had a hand in that too.
They just ran away.
I've never heard of anybody being able to close a graft before.
That's it's not terribly complicated magic, but yes, I suppose not many can do it. It was far more difficult than ever before.
So who do you work for?
That is a complicated story I would prefer to tell only once. Perhaps we should find the others.
As if on cue, Dolphin is going to go ahead and just enter into the room.
Nice.
You! I saw you on the plane, the dream plane yesterday. Who are you?
It's good to see that you are awake. It makes me pretty happy. I am Dolphin Sifthorn. I come from the oceans. I come from the deep abyss, the trenches. I have many questions for you. Please, will you answer?
We're going to find our friends right now. Perhaps you can guide us there. I don't know you, so I'm not comfortable just now answering your questions, at least alone.
You're one of
I mean,
those people who needs to be comfortable around others. It is different, but okay.
Sure, let's go with that.
Why don't you come with us here, Dolphin? We're gonna have a good chat, I think.
Well, you look for somewhere relatively private and away from other people.
Do you have such a place?
Yes. Of course. This is my cottage. I know everything about it, and I like to find the most secluded places to get away from everyone.
Then perhaps you can lead us there.
But of course. You said you wanted to find the other people that you had come into the tree about, yes? I believe I saw them out and about as I was moving throughout the cottage. Perhaps I can point in the right directions.
It's not too much effort between your various communication spells in gathering. It takes you just a bit of time to find everybody. And it often takes you to the kind of front of the library, or the front of the college, where that waterfall is like pouring over to the northern portion of Rippletop. Excuse me, Knowledge Falls. And Dauphin, you know the entrance is down into the pool, and then kind of off to the side of it. Feel free to describe kind of what you would say to them as you get them there.
So as I approach that little area, I look around at the rest of the party and I'll say, it is just a simple swim. I hope that, like me, you can breathe underwater. And he will just simply turn around, step in, and just plunge straight down.
Leo will turn around and say, nope, I'm good. I'll go back in.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Maybe I can go grab him and see if we can arrange something here, and I'll drop into the water.
Jiro drops in behind without saying a word.
Hearing
Does the
you
exact
guys
same
drop,
thing.
Leo will stop in the doorway and wait for you guys for a second.
So I'll go ahead and put everybody back on the board.
Is this the waterfall, Morgan, that we saw people come from when Dro, Nora, and Yazlam were in the cave?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You do occasionally see people like rise up and land on top of, like, kind of like shoot out of the waterfall itself, kind of like land on it, and then walk forward. And as you guys are kind of staring at this, there's an occasional person who comes forward, kind of gives you a nod, gives Dro a little bit more of a full nod. They step through this little arch, and as they do, they become perfectly dry. And they walk along and continue on their business. There we go. I was like, who am I missing? Argo's token is over here.
How do I spin my token and make it? Oh, there we go. I was trying to spin it and make it invisible again.
Control scroll wheel.
Oh yeah, I don't have a mouse right now. I didn't pack it.
Oh. Gotcha.
So Dauphin hasn't gone that far away. He simply just sidesteps that way that, you know, if you happen to follow him, you wouldn't land directly on his head. He's basically just like floating there, just treading water a little bit, waiting.
Do we land on top of the water, or do we fall in?
I mean, it's water. It's got buoyancy. You can swim down, tread on top.
Dro's just gonna sink for a little bit and just sit there.
Kind of like bottom of the pool style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna swim back up.
The Dauphin is going to stop for just a moment to look at Dro. His head just goes to the side as he just watches him sinking down. And then Dolphin is going to swim back up.
I'll say you that when he sinks down, there's no panic, there's no nothing. He's just he purposely did it. And then he'll eventually see everyone back up, and then, like an angry toddler, go back up.
We can't all breathe under there. I would say. I don't know how I would spit out because I don't need to, but I would do that just naturally for some reason.
Why do you come to the College of Water if you cannot breathe underwater?
Well, not everybody is enrolled here.
It was also on fire before. Breathing underwater was not our concern.
Oh, it was on fire. When was it on fire? Oh, you mean like the other day? I was reading. Yes, I've heard the tales of this battle. Is there some way that perhaps people are able to breathe underwater? Maybe a spell or something? This place is relatively secluded, and it is one of the old abandoned classrooms that are no longer used. It seems like a perfect place for a private conversation.
Is the classroom entirely underwater? Let me just be clear before we get too far down there.
Yes.
I'm thinking we're gonna probably need something a little drier.
There is a very small supply closet that I know of that most people do not use.
Maybe we could see if we can talk to the headmaster for just a moment and arrange something. I've seen slightly bigger rooms not in use since we've been here.
Can we just go outside the college? There's walking paths outside the college. We was just out by one this morning, and so was Yaslin.
I suppose if you want to go for a walk instead of a swim, that is a good way to have a nice little discussion.
So, Dro will just start to head back where he was. I guess Yaslin was there too. Kinda this morning.
I'm gonna climb through the portal and dry off.
Dolphin will do the same.
Same.
Alright.
Nobody wants
Yeah,
to
you
walk
guys are
around
able
with
to-
soggy clothes.
Oh god.
You guys are able to go. You got an entrance like right over there, a little bit over here.
There it goes. Oh, there's an entrance right there too. I'm blind. The minute he gets outside, Dro just hops up in a tree and just sits up there.
Is this where we're at then?
Is there anybody out here?
Not that you can see right now. Just
Margot's gonna trigger her sight.
okay. Margot, give me a perception check.
I'm also a little curious about Mr. Dolphin here, but I'll do that perception check first.
I do not have a bomb strapped to my chest.
I also cast Detect Magic.
What the fuck is with my rolls tonight?
Keep it up.
You're still exhausted. Detect magic. You do sense, a little bit of conjuration magic from like the light spells that are around. I'm not sure if I have the right tool magic for that. I'm gonna double check myself.
Yaslin just running to catch him.
Evocation. Excuse me.
Sorry. I got caught in the middle of the conversation.
Okay. Yep. And it's a little bit further away than a 30-foot radius, but it's got such kind of a large presence. You definitely get illusion off of the waterfall. The waterfall, kind of boils up and like falls over and continues down, but there is a large illusionary barrier that sits above Knowledge Falls, which prevents them from seeing up to the column.
I'm gonna go like this, hold my hand to my ear real quick, and just say, Jim, are you out there?
What's the range?
Like 120 feet.
Is it message?
Yeah.
Yeah, 120 feet.
Give me a D100. I didn't plan all the NPCs' movements around. And you get a response. Hey, Seamus. I mean, it's a school of magic, so it's not that strange, but wasn't expecting you in my head.
Yeah, sorry to bother. Me and my compatriots are setting up outside. Gonna have a little chat here. Is there any chance I could bother you for a round of drinks out here?
Well, I don't see one out. Yeah, we can provide. Where are you?
Out by the southwest courtyard, I guess.
Ah, that's a problem. Just a few minutes.
You're a doll.
Dolls are useless, pretty things. But I appreciate the attempted compliment anyways.
I'll work on it. So I don't know about the rest of you. Sorry, Morgan, did you have something?
Go for it.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like there's some questions that need to be asked, some answers that need to be given. We're kind of a newer group in Dolphin. I'm including you in this group because of what you just went through with us, and maybe some opportunities. I don't know. We've got some discussions I think to have with you there too, but we'll get to there I think eventually. But I think, Margot, you put our group in an awful spot there, and I'm not saying that it was your fault, but I'm saying that you do owe us some answers.
I agree. And Yasmin, I also think you owe us some answers as you attacked the group before. So I think there can be multiple exchanges here.
Fair enough.
So I shall ask many questions and you will answer all of them. This is the acceptance? Everyone answers questions that I ask? Or is there something else that is happening that I just do not see?
I will answer questions I choose to answer. Except Dro, as long as he keeps his side of the bargain.
Dro just kind of turns away.
Eyes, Dro.
The first question that I have is, what is this bargain you speak of?
Next question, pertinent questions to the situation.
Wait a minute, if there's another bargain going on in the group, I think we need to have it above the board.
Okay,
If
we
this
agree
group is going to be
that...
having business dealings, then we've got to share those business dealings. And I'm not saying that all business is shared, because there's some profits that I can't cut you in on. But I think we should at least keep it above the board.
Seamus, we just agreed that if he asks a question, I answer it, but he has to answer the question I ask him. Essentially, an answer is owed an answer. So if you don't want to answer a question, the person doesn't have to answer your next question. Balanced
Fair
trade.
agreement is the rules of the road.
This was her idea.
And you agree to it.
He did.
Okay.
I'll get answers either way. I'll pick and poke till either I annoy you or you smack me. So
Well, one of the two will happen, yeah.
why I'm up in this tree right now.
She kind of backs away a little bit.
Yeah, so as you say, while I'm up in the tree, Yasmin like studies the tree, like how quickly could I chop this down? Knock it down.
Pretty easy.
How high up is this, by the way?
It's like a 15-foot tree. It's not huge.
Yeah, this tree will complete.
He's only gonna go up like 10 feet. He's just chilling there. Trying to divert the heat towards Margot. So we ask an answer for an answer.
Well, yes.
Does that go for everybody? He scans
Yes.
everybody.
No. I'm not part of any of these deals. There's no profit involved. Nope.
Did have a
It's just a-
curiosity about you, Leo.
Just then, Jem comes out with, and she comes out. This woman, who most of you haven't seen yet, long robes, kind of teal lines of some sort of kind of glowing tattoo, and lots of like scales and things. And she comes out and it's like, Seamus, I'm not sure if I remembered you telling me if there was a number to your group, so I guess there's about 10 drinks here, just in case.
This will be a great start. Everybody, this is Jem. She's my tattooist and culinary artist.
True to both.
Leo will go up and grab a drink and say, okay, maybe we can talk. Start drinking.
Ah, well, these over here are alcoholic, these over here are non-alcoholic. You chose the right one, sounds like.
Right, yeah.
If you need anything, Seamus knows how to talk in my head.
So does other people.
Yeah. Eyes, Margot.
Yeah, this seems like a lot of drama that I don't want to be a part of, so I'm going to back away awkwardly now. But
Thank you so much.
it's nice to meet you. Lemon peel and basil is the fundamental flavors. Got a little bit of different takes. Certain algaes have a varying taste profile. Each one's different. Enjoy.
She could have stopped about a sentence back, but good just the same. Leo, to your point, I think that there is some profits to be made here, and I think that this group is... I don't know. I want to think it's something special, maybe. Even you, Dolphin. We'll get to that. But I think that if a group were to work together, it's got to have some trust.
Ask your questions then.
Who do you work for?
hard hitters first.
There's I work for my government. The government of my nation.
And what makes
Hold
you
on, I'm
that?
not actually trying to be obtuse. I'm trying to pull up my backstory right now.
And what government is that?
Right,
It's slow
putting-
internet hotel Wi-Fi. Hold on.
It's okay.
Putting conversations we had months ago into practice, like on the fly.
That's what I feel like now. I'm like,
I didn't think they'd come out with that right off the bat. There it is.
I mean, to be fair, Dro also asked you that like day 2 of meeting you, so
He did. I work for
I'm
the
also
Trayvon
special.
Empire.
One more time.
The Trayvon Empire.
Good. This must be also where you are from. Daphne is going to pull out a journal and start writing down.
No, we are not doing that.
can I
I will
roll
answer no more questions to be recorded.
Can I roll a history check to see if I know what that is?
Yeah, go ahead.
By the way,
I'll put a,
every roll, Dro's being blatant with guidance.
Okay.
put away my black notebook.
13. Awkward slide. No.
The Cryowind Empire, spelled Kryvan. Anybody who's interested in this, give me a history check.
I was so off on that spelling.
It's Eastern European spelling.
Geography ain't my thing.
Everything I'm about to throw at you is Eastern European. We're about to have a spelling lesson.
We got a note section in Discord.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dro, Seamus. You know that the Cryowind Empire, and Kiki, course correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong. It's a largely militarized state. They are one of the larger forces of Aeon to an almost stereotypical degree regarding how they function. It is an empire built on military might, but what sets them apart is they tend to have several specializations. You know, troops amongst different sub-nations are not the same. They allow for specialties to arise naturally.
Essentially, like different regions. If you have a water region, you'd have more water-based troops, that kind of deal.
Question from Morgan.
Mhm.
Bro, knowing that, and from his history and task, how much would he have known more in detail of? So what am I trying to ask? For one, that's going to pique his interest 110%. Here's a better question. Would he have heard that before he started his journey?
It is a place of interest for your purpose.
Okay.
What type of government is it? I mean, you said it's a military state, but is it like
It's an
a council
empire.
or is this empire central leader?
Yes.
Seamus likes it.
Not gonna rise to the top of that. How am I gonna overthrow this guy? What am I gonna do with the body?
That's what's going through Leo's head as well. This is the first like major power that Leo's heard of in Aeon, and he's interested to hear.
We had a major power discussion one day.
Is that all?
Dro's just gonna slightly laugh to himself, recalling that he had asked that. She didn't answer because he didn't answer. He still got the answer because someone else asked.
Uh-huh. Did you? You can't laugh.
The subject of God
Mm-hmm.
the first time you went into my head, I was told your name.
That was not the first time.
Leo will just kind of step up and interrupt you. Just be like, no, hold on. Why are you here?
I am here because of work. I was sent on a mission.
What is your mission?
There... The balance of Aeon is important, obviously, to great powers, and we saw the effects of such a thing. And that's what I was sent here to do, to make sure that effect does not impact the Empire.
Why not take advantage of the chaos
Damn it.
In what way?
to grow your empire, obviously?
I believe you're assuming that to grow an empire you must take it by physical force. There are other ways.
Go on.
And who do you work for?
Morgan, you were muted if you said something.
I did, classically. You're like, go on, and I imagine in my head, Leo was just like, give me the playbook for conquering an empire.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Give me the how-to.
That's literally what I was doing when I came here.
Hmm.
I was toppling at my parents' regime.
Your
Who
parents?
do you work for, Leo?
I work for myself.
The figures. And the rest of you, who do you work for? I get a feeling, other than Dolphin here, that it may be close to as simple as Leo. Yourself or perhaps the highest bidder, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Duro, I'm not so sure about.
Dro just looks at you and just kind of grins because you didn't ask the question.
James, Yaslan?
Independent contractor.
You know, I do mainly work for my own self.
And it seems that you're the odd one out. Margot.
Well, it appears so.
Where do you go from here? Back to your country, back to your government?
To be honest, I'm a bit strapped. Tell me, can you do one thing for me, and I will answer your questions. So I'm reading
Raise his eyebrow.
message. I need each one of you to tell me, truthfully, what your allegiances are for or against the Empire.
Never even
Wait,
heard of this empire.
Can I roll? I'm gonna roll insight checks on them.
Can I roll one on myself?
please do.
Oh, one. Oh, now you roll high. Okay.
20.
Hey, Margot. Leo's never heard of it.
But he'll say he likes it. He'll say he's for it.
The empire.
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yaslin's kind of in the same boat. Like, she doesn't know anything about it. It's brand new information, therefore no allegiance or lack of allegiance. One sec. Dro and Seamus, since you guys both knew about it beforehand, send me a quick message about what you think of it. Or rather, you can just, with a dirty 20, what would she glean from you as to decide? If you want to send me a private deception check or something to combat that, feel free. And Dauphin, don't think you knew about it because you rolled a 7.
So, just for clarification, understanding of this empire, their goal is to maintain balance at a high level.
With a 13, you don't know what the goal is. You just heard how their military operates.
Okay. Oh, I gotta think about this.
I don't have a problem with them. I've seen some of them around. Some of your people. Kind of gruff around the edges at times, I'd say. Does the Empire have a way about going it on its business? Because there are ways to grow an empire in Aeon. And if it's a large empire and a military state, then I can only assume that it has grown through conflict.
That's, yeah.
With your 17, and this will be the tidbit that you get that Dro doesn't, you know that they are not opposed to military action. But it is not their first recourse. They are quite powerful and mighty, but they are not trigger happy with war. They do have an alternative persona that is more of a protector, like, hey, Aeon's kind of a big bad place, come join us under our banner, sort of deal.
Has Dro heard of any events that they've done or been involved in? Like particular ones that would, I guess, stick out to him?
I'd say not on this one.
Okay.
You might have a contact that would know more from back in your day, but this wasn't your deal.
Okay.
You know somebody else who might have had more insight.
Dro would straight up answer Margot's question of, I don't stand with or against. I mean, that's an area that I don't know a whole lot about, and I don't really tend to judge without knowing the facts behind it. But if you represent them, there must be some good in it.
don't know about that. But there is a threat to my empire that I have been fighting alone. And there's another threat which you witnessed last night, completely separate. And it's too much for me to face alone. I cannot fight a war alone, let alone on two fronts.
This is what you were talking about at the graveyard, wasn't it?
Yes, last night is, I think I can answer your question in this too, Yaslin. Last night you entered the plane of dreams. My kind, typically, is tethered to the plane of dreams. Normal people such as yourselves, when you dream, your dream weave, which is the circlets you saw, are woven into the fabric of that realm. Kalashtar go there in a more ephemeral form. You may have seen some of us floating around out there. It's just like visiting a different world. That's how it should be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it was. But something happened and I can go there physically now. Not always, but sometimes when I sleep. And typically I'm tethered to my body, so if I die I can wake up, go back, it's not an issue. But last night the connection was severed, and without you I would have died. But that thing that chased us, those beings of nightmare, they are breaking through. They are, I don't know, they're hijacking crafts. They're not coming through a graft, they're not creating their own graft. They're somehow hijacking them. And I've been able to deter many of them. One got through once, but me and the ally of mine were able to stop it. But no one believes me. It seems fantastical to say your nightmares are coming to hunt you. But you know what they are capable of. And they are trying to break through. And I can't figure out how to stop them or how they're doing it. But that is what you saw last night. And to the point of Echo and Yaslin, I did ask both of your other parts to assist me in this, because I figured their nature would let them perhaps tether to my dream when I sleep. And then I would have support in there. I would not be alone.
So you made a deal with Echo with the intention of taking him with you without me knowing?
It wasn't a formal deal like that. I told him to watch for when I sleep, and he would likely know what it was to look for. I do not believe I could have severed your connection. Perhaps what I think is most likely, he would have ridden your dream thread in and then been able to fight by my side. I don't think I have the power to sever him. But I assume that's besides the point now.
I think just out of habit, Dro would look towards the shadows and see nothing. So whatever that was, Like in most fashion I do, and Yazin's familiar with it, I may have pissed it off more.
You know, that's funny because you heard it scream in the mountain when I brought down one of the pillars. I don't know if you recognized it, but I saw it coming, hijacking that graft. And when I ripped the pillar down, when it screamed, it said my soul was marked. And when I was trapped there, that's why it hunted me, so... Perhaps I would recommend you don't take any more trips to the dream plane. For now.
Yeah, you're
I
not.
may not have a choice, but...
Yeah, it's simple as that. Just deciding not to go there.
Your dream tethers, they cannot do any permanent damage to you that I know of. Now, if you go through the banners you did before, then no more magicking in. I would suggest that. But if he does find a way to hijack another graft, then we will have the issue still to deal with.
How
So,
do you stop them?
Kill them?
All of them? Wipe the shadow. Wipe the dream realm.
Oh, it's not a dream realm. I don't know. That's why This is too big for one person. And this is all I've been facing, alone.
Where's
For
your
months.
government? Where's your army?
My government understands the value a Kalishtar has in the military. But my people throughout the government are not all Kalishtar. My tribe is Kalishtar. So my government understands my use as a soldier and an officer. My tribe does not... I think they want to believe me, but it should be impossible what I can do, what I see. But you guys were there. You saw it. You know that I'm not making it up.
It is not the craziest thing. I suppose now is the time to reveal something. I do not dream. In fact, I do not sleep. I simply go into trance. And that experience that we had going into the stream realm, at first I thought, perhaps this is what all dreams are like. It is quite pleasant, colorful, and nice. And then I was thinking perhaps this was your mind. But as I talked with my professors while you all rested and slept, I learned quite a bit more about that realm. A little bit about what the monsters were in there. And so I must say, I am quite interested in, perchance, returning to this dream realm to helping you on your quest, simply for the sake of, well, I've not really gotten to see those things. It has unfathomable amounts of knowledge that I would be able to learn, bestowed on so many people.
What is your field of study?
Me?
Yes, is this normally what you're studying? You seem like quite an intellect.
Oh, well, I study most things. But normally, I study the spirit.
The spirit?
Yes, the spirit. The things that are inside all of us that keep us alive, except for, automatons and other things that were created by unnatural means. I am interested in the soul and its connections to everything.
I suppose this is a better time than any as she focuses on Dauphin. What does she see with her magic little eyes? Anything special?
He's blue.
She has a racial ability for true sight. So as she looks at Dauphin, she sees magical radiance from a few magic items that he has on him. And there's 3 items that are on him that don't radiate magic the same way as like you know when you like see something from the evocation school or whatever. They're remind me, it's a necklace pendant, or it's a necklace ring, and what was the third? The
Headband.
headband. That's right. And each of these kind of radiate a little bit of something, but they seem to be more fluid in their energy.
Your interest in souls is perhaps something that would be useful. I know that you guys know I can see far more than perhaps I should. And I have not been able to do that my whole life. And there's another thing, and she does prestidigitation like normal, but now her veins don't glow that lavender blue you've always seen them glow. The magic kind of like corporealizes around her in this jade green light of tendrils of liquid that kind of flow around her arms and her body, shedding dim light in 5 feet. This keeps happening every time I go there. My magic changes every time, and I think there is a damage. Perhaps what I am, my magic is in my soul, and there was a damage done when Girl, I told you my people can tether souls. We are actually born tethered to souls of our ancestors. Perhaps you've learned this in your research, but sometimes, not always, it's rare, but it's not unheard of. When someone you love has died, you can go through a rebinding process, essentially. Severing your tie with your born soul, and then she's gonna look at the tattoo on her shoulder, and retethering yourself with the one recently deceased. When I was retethered is when this all started to happen. Entering the dream plane, my magic changing, the vision. Something went wrong. I think my soul was damaged or something.
I think if your soul was damaged, you'd be in the same way.
What makes you think that the soul is connected to the mind?
That is the very essence and nature of Kalishtar. Our abilities of the mind.
This is different from the spirits that I have encountered in the past. Their minds do not have much to say. It is long once their body has disappeared and faded away. Their spirits, their presence are so strong they sometimes it has nothing to do with the mind, sometimes it has something to do with the body itself. You are very different from anything I've ever come across in the past.
I'm not sure how to take that, but I am happy that it intrigues you, I suppose.
I simply must know more. What is your full name?
Margar Sporat of the Visislav tribe.
I'm gonna butcher that.
Yeah. Spell, please.
Okay. Margot, S-V-O-R-A-D.
You can just
Spora.
throw it in the notes
Oh
chat.
yeah.
Oh, Bard?
Sporat.
Everybody throw in their version of the spelling into the notes channel before she puts her final answer.
Okay, let me send this.
I'm waiting.
I don't have one.
I'm
Yeah.
just thinking.
Something I'd rather try. Visislav.
like that though. I mean, I was close. I mixed up some letters, but yeah, I think the something or other tracks.
Something or other.
It's probably what Yasin heard.
Does Dro know anything about them? From his travels?
Roll me history at disadvantage,
There it goes.
because it's a more specific check on something you already don't know much about.
Disadvantage. Oh my god.
Oh
Rest in
no!
peace,
Wasted that
one.
natural 20.
It's gone.
And I could have used my restore balance, but I really didn't want to.
I swear to God.
Why would I restore balance on you snooping into my life?
He gets a nat 20. She's like, silvery barbs.
See you
I could.
thinking too hard. Let me make it harder.
No, Dro, you don't have this one.
Okay.
As she says that, you remember that the different pieces and peoples that come under the banner of the Empire. Sorry, guys. Generally refer to themselves as tribes, even if it was some sort of country or something before. And it's not a perfect thing, but you know, it's a loose term of tribe.
Okay. So I'll throw my hat in this ring. You talk a lot about this government. What is your take on them?
The Empire? It is integral to continuing to maintain balance and peace and security. It is the pride of the Visislav tribe to serve the Emperor. And it is under threat, which is what I am working against now. Not threat.
You say it's your tribe's pride. What's yours? What is your take on it? Do you believe in what they believe? Whatever you answer, he's rolling insight on you.
It is what I was born and made to do is serve the Empire. There is no greater purpose for me.
Oh, that's supposed to be. Is that a D4? Oh wait, what? E.
17.
Don't you even do it.
Dro, you are paying attention to her. And you can't discern any break in the conviction of what she says.
It's interesting because a lot of people I've met have been a part of something with their own beliefs, their own goals, their own ambitions, what be it. And it sounds like, and don't take offense to this, is you talk of this soldier. I just feel there's more behind that than just you're a soldier doing your duty. Maybe it was for your goal. You helped out a ragtag bunch of misfits, and he's gonna look around at all of us. And you saved all of our asses. And it just confuses me on how that helps restore the balance. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of truths, a lot of lies, a lot of deception. And if you haven't tell, I'm very... Personal space and boundaries are not a term to me, nor to you. So don't take offense of me not fully believing that there isn't something deep down, and maybe you don't even see it, that you believe. It just kind of sits back.
believe my empire is under threat, and I cannot do it alone. And you have proved yourselves more than capable. I could not have closed that graft without you guys getting me there in the first place and keeping me alive long enough to do it. And I would not be standing here today without you pulling me out of the dream plane.
I mean,
I don't work just for my government. My brother died. That is who I'm tethered to. My whole family serves the military or government in some capacity. That is what we do. And he was a brilliant commander. But sorry, 1 second. Okay. But he died, and it was... The reports did not line up with what we know to have happened. So I hunted to find out what happened to him, and I found an organization within the government, headed by one individual. I believe they are corrupt, that they mean ill will towards my government, and I believe my brother saw what they were doing and tried to change it himself, and for that he was sent on a suicide mission and killed. And so I did what I thought was best without getting any more of my tribe or family involved. I joined the organization to take it out from the inside.
there it is. Dro does not say that out loud. But he'll give a face of like, okay, there, that.
They are trying to destabilize the Empire. And I cannot let that stand, but I have to do it in a manner that protects not only my family and my tribe, but their name and position. I cannot bring dishonor by outwardly going against this organization. They are secretly revered in a way. An elite force, if you will, but there is more nefariousness to them.
Who's
That
to say
is-
this isn't your suicide mission?
Perhaps it was. What a surprise that would be for them.
It seems you're not. You're hesitant on. You keep saying they. Do they have a name? Are they going to be a threat to us?
Or to you? And by proxy, us?
If they know what I'm saying here, they will likely be a threat to all of us. If they know I stand against them, they may be a threat to me. But I cannot say for sure. They are known as the Otenki organization. And they are full of skilled individuals. It took a lot of work getting into this organization, but I cannot. I think I am not capable to the task.
I'll ask you the same question, Morgan. Does Dro know anything about that?
It's inside everything.
No, well, there's reasons why Dro keeps asking this.
Ooh.
Roll history at disadvantage.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
No.
It's gonna take a mental note.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, this is mental noteworthy.
Since Margot said no notebooks.
Which I imagine is just making dolphins squirm internally.
Oh, the minute
I
we
never
leave.
decided to put away my notebook. He's
No,
still
I
been
have-
writing everything down. So you know, he never said he did.
Now I've told you about me. Is there anything else you need to know? Now that you know what I face and what I am asking you to stand with me against.
These people, this secret organization. I must know. I've never heard of your empire before. I must know. Does your empire work for the good of the people? How free is access to knowledge for yours?
The Empire is absolutely for the good of the people. It brings safety and stability in Aeon.
From those of you who have encountered this empire before, I'm rather quite curious. Do you also agree with this?
I say, kind of looking around at people.
You'll see Leo kind of roll his eyes a bit.
Yeah,
An
also just
empire, an empire's an empire. They're never for the people.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like looking at her nails.
It's Aeon. They're for their own people. That's
We
Aeon.
provide support beyond our borders. We extend olive branches. But we
Sure,
do
you help
protect
out
our
in
own.
You help out in an impoverished country for a little while. You give them some supplies. Don't pay us back for a little while. And things are getting better. The Empire comes knocking. You remember that cart we lent you? We'll need 2 of them back.
That's... The Empire allows for diversity. They've allowed the tribes to behave and act as their own. They've never interfered in the manner of the Visislav tribe or any other tribe. We are our own nation within the bounds of the Empire, and we proudly serve and protect the Empire.
So, for the sake of understanding, if everyone is able to operate freely as they see fit and rule their little areas as they see fit, what is the point of the empire? Is that not how the rest of this world already works? I mean, my people, we live freely by the ocean. We trade with people on occasion, but we do not run into any large forces, and we just simply live our lives.
Should one tribe be threatened, the Empire has the ability to call on all the tribes to bring the full force of the Empire to bear. We are together strong.
So it is.
Other nations.
It's Aeon.
Well, I don't think you've quite catched the memo. It's kind of surviving the fittest.
That is what they're doing.
We bring order and balance to those within the bounds of the Empire, and to those who would seek our protection and support.
There's no use in further argument.
Is this not just an alliance then? Or what makes it an empire? If there's an agreement being on with all nations to protect one another, would that not just simply be one large alliance? Where's the emperor at the time?
There are obviously certain empire-wide rules, regulations, taxes to provide for the sustenance of the centralized military force.
often is simply going to write more stuff down.
Bro, tell us about your shadow.
I'd be more concerned about the Aslan's little friend who has attempted to kill some of us in the group already.
I
Dro
want to know
just
about that too.
turns and looks at Yaslin.
Not dead, are you?
Margot
Yeah.
looks at Leo.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, I literally had to beat it out of you.
I had to make a deal to pull you back.
We'll talk about that deal in a minute.
Yeah, no. Alright. What is it that you want to know?
What is it?
What do you mean?
Most people I've seen know. And me traveling with you for a while, I don't see them really growing tails, long claws. And then I saw you headbutting the ground and found out you have horns.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of a tradition of my people. We bind ourselves to other creatures. I just happen to be a unique case.
Wanna elaborate?
Are some of your people bound to rodents? An insect? Is that how it works?
If that is the creature that you have the most affinity with, the one that calls out to you.
And you had affinity for a dragon.
It's not a dragon.
What is it?
I suppose the best term is a chimera. Have you ever heard of one?
Leo, roll nature check with advantage.
On it.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Leo, you've heard of chimeras.
Oh, I rolled disadvantage. Oops. Oh well, still a good disadvantage roll.
So that'd be a dirty 20. With that, yeah, you know of chimeras. You know that there are specific beasts like that, but it's also a term for a hybridized creature. They can be, and this is kind of interesting. This is one of the things that has, you know it from your work, not from your study in the library. They can show up in a variety of ways, but they are generally considered kind of mid-tier powered monsters.
Interesting. And this chimera and you were bowling, shall we say?
Is that what your trials were about? You said that you had earned your scales, had gone through some trials for it. Was that this?
Part of it. Yeah. I think the best way I would explain it is it's just the initial trial. I haven't finished mine completely yet, I don't believe.
Do you know what's involved?
Yes. I
It sounds-
suppose the best way to explain it would be as if you knew something very intimately.
If you lose, you put us all in danger.
More than likely, yes. Unfortunately, I walk on a very short leash.
Wonderful. Does anyone else have an existential threat to confess of?
Here's a question for everybody. Dro pulls out the crossbow bolt. Do we all have each other's back?
Is he out of character? Is he looking at Leo when he says that? Like,
He's looking at everybody.
alright.
I say Yaslin knows where this bolt's from.
I think Yaslin dies. My intentions aren't to hurt any of you. And I don't think at the core those are the intentions of my beast either.
Doubt this was anybody else.
Can you let him know that?
And there's no way to help.
Help what?
Help you maintain control. No training, no clue we can get to assist you.
Yeah, I'd rather not have to punch you every single time he comes out.
I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm a unique case. No one's ever bonded with a creature like I have, and so I left seeking answers, and I still haven't found them, and so I'm not sure.
I may be able to offer just a little bit of help. You see, I have strong connections with spirit and with nature. I am not quite sure what I would be able to do right away, but perhaps if you give me a little bit more time to think, I might be able to ease.
If you think you could figure something out that might help, that would be appreciated.
I shall try my best. I will think more about this. Of course, I will be forthcoming with all of the questions. I must simply learn more. But as I learn more, it should hopefully help you.
I will do my best to tell you what I can.
Wonderful. Does anyone else have any hidden evil things inside of them or around them that I would be able to
It's
see?
not evil.
Oh.
Along the same vein of what you're discussing, your research, Dro. I want to help you, but I need to know more. Perhaps Dolphin can help you. We need to know what Echo was, where he was from, where he may have gone, who he was. The more I know, the more likely I can pull him back to you, but you would need to be forthright with information so that we could find out the truth.
Okay. Well, I'll answer your questions when everyone else answers the one I asked. We have each other's backs.
As long as you have mine, which I think you've proven to.
He looks towards, not really Dolphin as much because he's fairly newer. But he looks towards Seamus and Leo.
Leo would look at Seamus. Seamus is the only one he truly trusts.
I'd like to think that we can. I think that's what this conversation is about, is to make sure that there can be an accord here. Most of the time, when I'm coming to an accord with another party, I get it in writing. But to me, to be honest, this feels like something that's gonna have to go beyond that, which I don't know exactly what that is, but it feels like, yeah, maybe.
Keep your demon blood out of my veins.
My blood is my own, thank you very much.
I mean, didn't we all give a little down in the bottom of the belly of the mountain already?
Yeah. The cause of
We all
it.
gave some. in
The cause
dream.
of it is what concerns me. And he just kind of, this time he's fiddling with that bolt. I have your back. All of you. As long as you have mine. And you have hers. Motions towards Yaslin. And he'll throw the bolt towards, like, at Leo. Not to hit him, but into the ground. You might be, you might have lost
He'll
this.
pick it up and put it in his quiver. Oh, thank you.
And as long as we have each other's back, there's not a problem. The concern I have is, yes, there was, and I am guilty of it as well, conflict between the group. And being in a group is still fairly new to me. But I've already lost a lot, and I don't want to lose more. And if there is a cause for me losing more, I will bet my life that I put an end to that cause. And he'll kind of look towards Yaslin, knowing, hopefully, she getting the conversations that they've had. Marco, you want to know about Echo? So do I.
Promised I would help.
I don't know what he is, where he came from, or how we're bonded. That was one of the goals that him and I were traveling for, to find answers. Those being his answers. Me a little. But as long as I can remember, for the most part, even growing up, he was there with me. We, I guess in terms, shared the same body, but then we didn't. And all the first memory we both have is me standing in my home city within the shadows, watching the kids run through the streets, minding my own business, and just the feeling of somebody watching me, which was uncommon because I was the one that watched a lot of people from the shadows. So when I turned, I saw him. Most people would have been afraid, but I wasn't. There was something of connection, brother connection, and you can see how protective I was of him. Still am.
Leo will kind of rudely interrupt and whisper into Seamus's ear and say, "We need sandwiches." He's now drank 2 beers and he's ready for some food.
Margot's gonna roll her eyes at the interruption and then just say, my tribe, as I explained, we are naturally tethered, but we can do a re-tether. That's what this tattoo is. That's how I'm bound to my brother, but it's dangerous. It can unlock things clearly. This is not how it was intended to work, as it works with me, but to be honest, I personally cannot do this. It was my mother that rebound us. She is the holy woman who has the abilities and knowledge. But I would gladly take you to her if we found a way to locate him, or at least figure out where he's from. A way to call him back, a name, something. Gladly I would bring you to my tribe, and she could attempt a retethering. My concern is whatever broke that tether to begin with, if it still exists, may prevent it.
He's gonna glance down at the scar that's on his arm. From the Kieran. While she's saying that. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park. But he is the only family I got. So even if we can't reconnect, I at least want to know he's safe. And right now I don't think he is. The Kieran said he's on this plane somewhere. So there's hope that he's still alive.
I will help you search. I will do what I can to help. All of you. Even Leo. Because I'm not sure you grasp what a risk that is to you. And she's gonna gesture her head towards the stones. You may understand the damage, but seeing it is quite different.
Seamus. With everything that's happened, and with Nora leaving, back in that dream realm, you summoned that beast. What is that?
I talked about it a little bit in the past. Madame Fearism. Haven't we talked about this?
Vaguely.
Maybe you weren't around, Yasin.
I was probably doing something else.
Probably.
I've got a slight case of the Danfierism. I don't know if you know what that is. It's not so much a case as existence, a way of being, as it were. Are you from Aeon? Are you Aeon born or a grafter?
What are you saying? Yeah.
I'm looking at both Yaslin and Joe, bro, because I don't, you know.
Little Joe.
Yes, Lindra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo.
I'm. Man.
As am I.
Dolphin, are you a grafter?
No.
I don't think vampires are native to Aeon. I don't really know where they come from, but I do find enough information in some of the lore to have pieced together some bits and pieces, but somewhere along the lines, a curse of powers of sorts, some sort of exchange, I don't know, maybe some tribal bondage with animals, who knows? But one way or the other, I was born with some powers, and some more have manifested over my lifetime. But I don't believe I was born fully powered. Half-blood or something, as it were. That's where the word Danfear comes from. But of those powers, there are times guardians of sorts that gather around power. There's many creatures that live in the shadow, but one of them seems to be mine.
Is he here?
If I am.
Can I see
Do
him?
I see him?
I think Dro.
We see.
Dro's gonna look into the shadow.
Seamus,
Sounds
are you wheeling your beast out or looking at me?
I would
They're
not
very
be-
clearly looking.
Can my true sight see him even when he's not willed out?
I would think that you could not, that he is a creature that comes when summoned, but otherwise does his own shadowy business. And to be honest, it's kind of new to me. And I don't care to bring them here now, because it doesn't feel that the situation warrants it. And I'm not saying that each of your inquiries aren't worth it. It almost... Some things you don't want to tap into unless you need it.
I understand that.
I'm not going to make you ask the question again, but I was maybe not entirely on the up and up earlier when you asked about if there were allegiances to others. And I can say honestly that when I answered before, it was an honest answer. I'm an independent contractor of sorts. But I do work occasionally for an organization or two that I prioritize over others from time to time. And if you do business with me, then by extension, you may or may not run a course from that organization or those organizations and the organizations that they run a course from?
And the names of these organizations.
I think for now I'd like to just say that it's better maybe that we come to those when the time is right, and that even just naming them would maybe escalate things for you. So it's better that you just know that I have quite a number of business dealings, and I will do everything I can to have them affect you in the most positive of ways.
She's going to mind link with Seamus and say in his head, and the whole time she's watching for his reaction, any kind of facial change. And she's just gonna be like, "You already rolling?"
Then he says, for the positive of you.
Yeah, right. Shit, I lost it. You do understand that if our organizations are in contradiction, that could get everyone here killed. If you don't want to tell the group, that's fine, but it may be best to at least tell me so that we can confirm. Or at least be prepared if our organizations try to kill us for our connection.
You would feel a shadowy hound move up behind you.
He is staring at his face to see if there was any kind of shift. And still waiting for a response.
Charles just staring at him intensely.
Just watching.
We're just both staring at each other because she said that in his head.
We're just looking at each other quietly, and the whole conversation's kind of at a standstill.
At this point, I feel like either Dro and Yasla would probably know, oh, she's in someone's head again.
Yeah. Oh, look at her doing her thing again. Invading people's privacy.
I think the Shadow Hound would step out of the shadows behind
Oh,
you
why
enough
not do
that everyone would be able to see that there's now a hound looking at you.
I think as the staring contest happens, Yaslin steps next to Dro, taps him.
He's 10 feet up. Just keep that in mind.
Oh,
He's
Taps
gonna.
his butt.
she kicks the tree.
Dro's gonna hop down the minute the wolf appears.
She's just gonna keep talking in his head. She's gonna be like, I know this is some kind of intimidation tactic, but Seamus, I trust you right now. Don't make me regret that choice. If you don't want to answer, say no, but call off your dog.
Dolphin stands to his feet and draws his weapon because he has no idea what the hell's happening, and all of a sudden there's just this big shadow wolf that comes out of nowhere.
Dro puts his hand out, the dolphin to hold up.
It's just this beast of the shadows. Is this not dangerous?
You're gonna learn real quick. There's two of us here that enjoy the shadows. So, let's see where this goes.
And some of us here who are comfortable with them.
Dolphin will slightly lower his staff, but still be in an athletic pose, agile pose.
Yasla looks pretty relaxed. She's also maybe a bit cocky, knowing if shit goes down, she could probably smash it through.
Is question about where we're at. Is there dim light nearby in the areas? You're muted.
The regional effect of warm rain has come back. However, it is you expect it to be warm rain, but it's actually a little bit colder than usual. You see a couple of, like, the gouts, 10, 15 minutes ago. Steam gouts came up from the mountains and built up a cloud like normal and comes down. But it's colder. And so there is overcast skies kind of at the moment as you're enjoying the rain from the clouds that create or that come from the mountain. So yeah, that's pretty much dim light all over.
So while this is happening, Dro just takes a step back, and to Dolphin and Yaslin, Dro is no longer there, and he is here, just standing next to the dog. Not hostile, because it piques his interest for one. And he's just looking at Yaslin.
Freaking, when she like spots that he's over there, she just like rolls her eyes and looks a little more prepared if something goes wrong. That she's ready.
Still waiting for Seamus's response.
Out loud to the group, Seamus will say, in some circles, I'm known as a collector. The Guild of Knowledge is a small organization. It's pretty much just a man. He's a book collector. A library of sorts that is willing to give out knowledge in exchange for knowledge. They ask that I keep my arrangement between us. But there are some that know the signs. The library, for instance, recognized my tattoo, and I'll hold up my hand where I have a tattoo of like a feather quill pen on the top of my hand that extends down my right hand to the tip of my finger. You may have seen me writing with it before, but it's the mark of the guild. I've worked in other organizations as well. I can't tell you about those. I can tell you that you're already in danger from them. But you probably were before. And it had nothing to do with me or my involvement with them. It's just a dangerous organization.
Let's add that to the list of enemies we've made.
Has Margot heard of this organization? Really, all she cares about is if it's in competition or stands against the Empire.
Roll me history.
I would also like to see if I have heard anything about this.
Ooh,
Okay.
20.
Margot!
Seamus, this collector. Would you be willing to talk to us?
He'd love to talk to you.
Feelings mutual.
For Margot, the Guild of Knowledge is well known in your circle as an independent party. They have strict neutrality, and their only commerce is in information. They don't participate in the wars. They don't participate in the ladder climbing of Aeon. And Dauphin, you've kind of heard whispers about it, but they're mostly like rumors, like not sure if it's true or like not sure if it's a real thing or not. But you've probably, being you've probably like done as much research as you can about them, and seen some of their reach, and to hear that this is one guy is kind of like mind-blowing.
There's a singular person that is in charge of all of this knowledge. I do not believe it to be true. Simply it must have been, well, when you say organization, I think it would be an organization. But, this person, you must bring me to him immediately. I must know more.
Oh, certainly we can make some arrangements there, but it's actually not as rare as one might think.
So there are many. I wish to be involved with this. Bring me to a place. I want to know more.
I think well, your enthusiasm's great. You might kind of be on a bit of the right track, wrong intention. Where are we going next? What are we doing? I would ask you to come with me to help, but I don't want to pull you into my fight. And it sounds like we have other fights. Perhaps, if you had other missions, other goals before that we must conclude. What's next?
And with that weighty question off of Margot's lips, that's when we're going to take our break. So with Margot uttering one of the questions that's been on everybody's minds, where are we going next? What do you think? What do you say?
I would turn to Dolphin. Dolphin, I know you're kind of new to the group here, but it just so happens that we have an open spot on our roster. Have you ever done any independent contracting?
My whole life has been independent. I do not think I understand. I am not interested in signing a contract.
You fancy yourself an adventurer of sorts?
I suppose of all the words that you could use to describe me, adventurer might be one of them, yes.
It seems that you've got quite a bit of interest in some of the dealings that this group has, obviously. I can see you probably want to stay connected, so I'm just thinking, since we've got an opening spot, and if you're not open to making any money on the side, that's fine. You don't have to be part of any contracting.
Money is only temporary. There is no reason to pursue money or power or such archaic things. I strive for something that is far more rewarding, and I am
Oh,
sure
of
that I will
course.
gain it on track.
Oh, of course. A man truly after my own heart. You'll fit right in with the group for sure.
I must say, I do believe that of all the places to go, I am far more interested in traveling to learn more about this field of knowledge. But it seems as though perhaps the checks notes. Oh boy. This is this. Oh no. This is not going very good. It is making me going the worst direction. The Slav tribe might be the way to go. It seems as though these are the people that might be able to help each of them in the future. And as we travel, I shall do my best to help everyone.
Seamus, with your detect magic up, you get a new ping. Comes in for just a moment. You get just a splash of divination magic, just kind of up into the rise of the group, just like, and then something knocks it out, and it's gone.
Yeah, I would note that. I don't know if I would say anything about it out loud, but I certainly would block it.
I suppose you might wish to know my uses. After all, if I will be traveling with you, we might end up encountering something bad that we must have to fight yet again. After all, my first encounter with you all was quite a wonderful dream realm, which then devolved into flying away as fast as I can. And I assume that just from everything I've been hearing about you from the best little conversation, it seems as though trouble might be following some of you.
If it makes you feel any better, when me and her found at least Leo and Seamus, they were fighting a vibrating man. So
Trouble follows them, not us.
well,
No.
If anything, I might be the trouble. But...
we pissed off another group, so
Oh yeah, that. I like to pretend my problems are beneath me.
This vibrating man, was he just afraid and shaking in his boots, or was he actually just like back and forth?
No, just another grafter. Just some, you never know what's gonna come through.
It reminds me of the tale of Barclay Ashmore.
are we about to get a history lesson?
Knowledge is free, and I'd be more than happy to share it with you, but do not tell me that you have not heard of Barclay Ashmore.
Someone give me a pillow.
Have I?
Roll a history check.
I was hoping you'd just be like, no.
At disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn it!
I want to get in on some of that. No, I don't.
Yeah,
Listen, just because.
no, none of us know.
No shot. Shut up.
Yasmin knows, but we
I
don't.
was like, yeah, I was like, let me find my pillow. I'm just gonna let him explain.
Proceed.
Barclay Ashmore, you have never. Oh, why, it is such an interesting thing. You see, I heard about him a long, long time ago. At first it was a story, and then a person wrote it down into a book, and I have read the book many times over the ages of 7 to 10 to help me fall asleep. You see, this man, he was a very selfish man, and once upon a time, he lived in this great big village full of wonderful, wonderful people. They cared about each other, and they went fishing, and they shared everything in a perfect communal society. But this man, he wanted to go against the society, and quite a bad person he was, by wishing to disregard the people. And so, what he did was he said, I do not wish to stay here anymore. And he simply just walked away. He left. He left everything perfectly behind. Now this man was not vibrating yet, but eventually.
So Dro was tapping his staff and everything goes quiet.
So you're talking and just.
Duffin, are you aware that like the space around you is not carrying sound, or do you just kind of keep rolling with it?
Shouting.
I think that. Am I able to hear my own voice?
No, it
Okay.
shuts out.
So as he loses the ability to hear his own voice, he's just gonna stop and he's gonna go.
Elvin's like a silent chuckling, leaning against the tree.
Dro's just leaning up, standing up against the tree, just leaning back.
Leo's grabbed a third one of the beers from the tray. He's downing it.
Awkward silence among everybody. Then he'll drop it.
Can't hear you shoot.
Jen, can I get some sandwiches?
Duffin is just gonna look around confused, and then he's just gonna plop to the ground, deflated.
It's okay.
Margot's gonna look around. Does she know where that came from?
With your true side on, yes, you do.
Damn it!
She's just gonna look at Joe and see in his head. Really? You can't stop me.
Permission. We talked about it.
Yes. But to be fair, perhaps you should ask permission before you silence someone in the middle of their story. It's rather disrespectful.
I would like to cast Thaumaturgy.
Oh
to make
Jesus.
the ground shake.
Yes, please.
So quietly, he's going to raise his hands in the air and he's going to go. And the ground will start rumbling a little bit. He wants to see if he can hear the ground shaking beneath him, rather than just feeling it.
Oh, you spilled my drink.
Margot just raises her eyebrows at Joe and looks at the ground shaking and looks at Joe.
I
Got a
can't do
couple
that
more
anymore.
beers.
Genji catches some of the drink that Leo spilled. He's like, ah! Oh, wow. He's like excited about it after a minute.
To Margot. To be fair, I have a feeling I did everybody a favor currently. I think she kind of looks down at Yaslin.
Yasmin seems pretty amused.
Perhaps that's true.
But you can tell the conversation on our travels.
Fair point. But, do you want to end this so we can discuss our travels?
Well, the silence is dropped. He dropped it.
Okay.
Oh,
The minute like Dolphin started realizing he couldn't hear anything, he quickly dropped it.
oh, okay. So then I'm just basically shaking the ground and making a whole bunch of noise.
He's just fucking with you the whole time.
And Margot and Joe are just staring at each other again.
I think when you start talking into Dro's head, Dro will kind of bump Yaslin with his foot and kind of motion at you like she's doing it again.
Yasmin's eyes like just swivel over to Margot and like, go, come on now.
Did anyone else well, I suppose it's not really here, but did anyone else not here? Just temporarily for a second. Like, if I do this, and he's gonna point at the ground in front of him, and cast Thaumaturgy again because, you know, cantrips. And I will make the sound of a rumble of thunder just kind of spread out from that area.
Yes, we hear that.
But did everyone else just like not be able to hear?
Yes, was it not pleasant?
Damn.
Leo, you mentioned your family. If they
Yeah.
could come after you, will they?
I mean, it depends on how things went after I left, I suppose. I was leading a crack squad of our top lieutenants. I hope that they still took over without me. In which case, they may be searching for me to bring me back, but not in a threat.
But there's a possibility your family drama might come to you.
I mean, we're here. How could they get me? I don't even know how I'm here. Can people do that? Do people know about this place?
I haven't heard of anybody coming here that knew about it before they got here.
Or that was willing.
All right, who wants sandwiches? Good God, what is that?
Oh yeah, the wolf's out.
He's with me, girl. Don't you worry. Calm down, boy.
Denji will walk up and grab 2 sandwiches off the plate and bring one back to me.
Right. Last time I left you, there weren't so many beasties. Seamus, when I gave you a shadowy wolf, I thought it was a damn metaphor.
I mean, it still is.
Right. A bit more tangible than I had originally anticipated. Anyways, sandwiches. I'll just leave the tray here and not come near the dog pie.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Just a little heads up next time would be nice, love.
I've got some business I'd like to attend to just real quick while we're in the ripples here. Just swing by the downs, and then we can maybe go on our way. It sounds like, Margot, maybe your stuff may be pressing. Although, if you were interested, I might be able to arrange a meeting with the guild sooner than later.
Perhaps the guild may have information we need. Perhaps a way to seal off this leak from the dream plane or find Echo. There's any number of information we could have. Perhaps that's where we start.
The guild? Where? What? Leo's been drinking.
Give me a constitution check. Oh, I guess a saving throw would be appropriate.
Okay, I almost sent the...
17?
He can hold himself.
Yeah, you're feeling just fine.
Seamus explained that he works with an organization called the Guild of Knowledge. That it's basically run by one dude who collects knowledge and loans out knowledge or gives out knowledge for the price of knowledge. And that I collect books for him from time to time. And that there's another organization that I work with occasionally, but won't talk about.
All right, let's go to the guild of knowledge.
We'll have to
Let's go
swing by the
downs
downs.
You rolled well, but I just wanted to show you. We now have a
That's
drunk
fair.
icon.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we could probably make it to the downs today. Unless there are other questions you had.
Not for you.
There are always more questions to be asked, and I have many more that I desire to ask, but surprisingly, I will say they can wait. I am far more interested in this build.
Just real quick, what other skills do you bring to the table? You started to bring them up, and I think we maybe cut you off there.
Oh, why? I have a great and powerful connection with nature and spirits. You saw a little bit about what I could do with dream. But I had the ability to take the form of many animals and feel practically no harm in that form. Of course, if I defeated that form, then I just simply return to the way I look. And I am more than capable of using the healing magics of waters to help soothe any wounds that anybody gets. And of course, I carry with me the spirits of the ocean. These spirits I have made strong bond connection with. They're my friends. And as my friends, they help me to protect. Well, I suppose more than just myself now. Everyone around me that needs to be protected.
Hey, this guy's a healer. Nice, I like you.
And of course, any animals that we might come across, I am naturally fluent in the ability to speak with any animals. I believe I used to be circus. I do not talk very often. It is not something I do. I have trouble understanding. Should I stop talking?
No, you're doing great. This is all sounds actually quite helpful. It's good to have some tactical knowledge of your capabilities, and I'm sure that they'll come in handy. I do have a question here now that I'm thinking about it, though. Can you change into any size animal?
As long as I have come into contact with this animal before, I know what it is. I have the ability to change into most different sizes of animals. There are some limitations, of course, but I'm sure as I learn more about the world around me, I'm more than capable of turning into any form of animal. Why do you ask?
Leo, can you put them in a gem?
Oh god.
Now that would be fun to try.
Oh god, no.
But the midway gem?
We
Is
had a
like-
healer.
Oh. It sounds
And
as
you-
though people might have died. I have no interest in being imprisoned. This is what you are offered.
It's more of a bond, a friendship.
It is far more than that.
Oh. I have no interest in being romantic with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Mistake!
Inspiration for Dolphin.
Yes! I make funny joke.
Delivery on that was fantastic.
Dro, you need to let them know when you're checked out. You need a pass or anything to leave your school here now.
He goes to school here now?
He runs this place almost.
No,
As I
okay,
understand that
okay.
he's a champion.
Hold on.
This is his
Champion.
realm.
Hold on. And Margot hears in her head, shut the hell up. I mean, we can go tell him we're leaving, but I don't go to school here. So,
I didn't know how it worked.
neither do I.
You need to let them know that you're going.
I'll tell him that we're going.
I've already told my professors as you all slept. I told them that I am very interested in seeing what I can learn from them. And also, I have a little bit of interest in seeing if I can find what I'm looking for. And so, I was going to leave anyways.
I'll go ahead and bite.
No bite.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I do not quite think that I have enough knowledge to be able to accurately describe what I am looking for. I just know it is big, dead, and not easy to come across. My spirits, they are interested too, but they cannot give me much information. And so, I'm looking to find information to readily show them. We shall continue this journey.
Oh, that sounds good. We see a lot of big dead things, so that'll work.
Well, if it is a common occurrence, then hopefully the big dead thing that I'm looking for is something that we come across sooner rather than later.
Nora would have loved to have killed something for you.
I do not know who that is.
Oh, make Leo sad. He's a little too inebriated to hold back. Looks all sad.
We'll fill you in
Kenji's-
later.
Kenji's a little wobbly too, as he's poured some of the drink into his hat.
Locked in his head.
Perhaps we should collect ourselves. Perhaps some of us should take some time to rest. And then we set off for Ripple Downs.
I rolled for Yaslin bringing this up since she's not here. Dro, don't we have a little bit of unfinished business on the mountain before we leave?
What do you mean?
There's a reason you and I got favors from the king.
Right. Yeah, I've got a wild suspicion that that will catch up to us. Plus, technically, there's two others that are involved in it.
True, from... No, they sent us to find the two of you. She looks at Seamus and Leo. I'm not exactly sure if they're the type that'll let bygones be bygones. I think you're right, that it will catch up to us at some point. It's just, do we deal with it now, or do we have bigger fish to fry?
I think we can come to an accord with them.
Fried fish sounds good.
Grumpy is cracking me up.
think right now getting knowledge is more important. If they want their answers, they'll come and get them. And like Seamus says, maybe we can talk our way out of it. I mean, to be fair, we did have a bigger situation to deal with. Technically, if we didn't deal with it, they wouldn't have anything, or maybe not even be alive. Well, there's also that in our back pocket.
So are we talking to them or going to build knowledge and ghosting the hell out of them?
I like option 2. But Leo, Seamus, what do you think?
I've got some investments I'd like to see too in the area, and I don't want to leave those with any chance or risk that it doesn't need added to it, I suppose. So it seems like we probably should come with an accord if we're going to continue doing business in the area before we leave.
No, is Dolphin? Is there an armory here?
Is there an armory within a college?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you guys had a tailor, and I don't know.
I arm myself with books and knowledge.
Well, yeah, but what about like magical items and weapons?
You would know that Hamel, the college's quartermaster, handles most of the magic items.
That is stuff that I do not deal with most of the time. That is someone else's job. I suppose if you're looking for magical items and whatnot, you could go find Hamel, but well, I suppose if we will be adventuring now, it might be magical. Yes, kind of. It is not like the big barracks of the mighty army, but it is a very formidable room for a college.
So, Seamus, to answer your question, we should do our business first, and then head to the Knowledge Guild. Ripple Downs plan.
That's 3 stops by my count.
Do we even have a way to contact them?
Why don't we start by heading to the Downs? I'll take care of my business, we can settle in for the night and maybe get a feel for how we want to reach out to them if they don't reach out to us first.
Works for me.
Have you heard of the Bilesmeyer Cafe?
Udawada?
Well, of course you have.
Have I? You're muted.
3rd time's the charm. I'm pretty sure they brought it up, but it was before you joined in the campaign. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was.
They just mentioned they had
Before,
some
yes.
dealing to make some money, but never went into what it was.
Yeah.
So Troll just looks at you clueless of what you're talking about.
Leo and I and some others have gained a small business stake in a small cafe in the town there. But the town itself is struggling quite a bit. And Nora and I came upon it. That's where we met a number of our compatriots in town there, but you could tell just from the conditions of the different businesses that the whole place is really been in an economic depression for quite some time. And this poor girl at the cafe had just lost her parents to a terrible monster in the area. So of course Snore and I signed on to help out anything we can. And in doing so we decided to take on a part of her business to help her out. So we're just gonna go in there and check on some business there. Let's clear out some orders that we had in some of the towns as we came about, and I think there's another opportunity to expand maybe while we're there.
Excellent plan, Seamus. And we'll get some of those pastries.
The world's renowned.
That's a new one. Okay. So supply up here. We head down. I don't remember correctly. Ripple Down's far from where we are, ain't it? Because we have to go through Ripple Top, Ripple Mid, which is days of travel.
Days of travel. Yeah. You're about. Oh, I don't remember the distance between my towns right now. It's about to go from Ripple Top to Ripple Downs is a total of a couple of days or so.
Could we arrange transportation?
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know why I asked in Seamus's voice.
Dolphin, is there a way here that we can get somewhere a little bit quicker?
I walked here, but do I know of any other ways around easily?
Give me an investigation check as you're like scanning your mental model of the school.
Attributes. That's intimidation. Investigation.
I'm going to intimidate the DM into telling me.
The journey can be made faster. Maybe if you can manage to persuade a professor to grant you the fly spell or something.
Well, I mean, I could turn into an eagle or something and fly down there, but the rest of you, you might have a little bit better chance by perhaps talking to some of the people around the college. Maybe they can grant you some way to get down with them.
Could you turn into an animal big enough to take us?
Oh, probably not. That's a lot of people to have to carry on one's back, or in like helmets. I suppose I might be able to turn into like a whale or something, but we're not near the ocean. That is not very helpful right now, so... no.
Regular, you guys have seen it at Ripple Top and everywhere else, you know. Travel by carriage is an option. It's not super instantaneous or anything.
Not quicker than walking.
I assume that Seamus would be willing to pay to travel in comfort.
Yeah, as would Leo.
Even for the group, if I had to, Seamus is not above that.
Dolphin is broke. He's got pretty much nothing, so he wouldn't be able to pay for his wedding.
I'll cover you, Dolphin.
As the decision is made to go to Ripple Downs and kind of tie up a few loose ends on the business side. Leo, in short, you are able to connect with Hamel, who is the one who helped to build your new stone that gives you your new island stone that floats.
My new hat.
Yeah, the stone that sits in the center of your hat and gives you the bonuses. He
Effeminate minotaur.
no, that one is that one's Dagrim. He's the
Okay.
excuse me. Oh, apologies. Dagrim made your Iron Stone, but you meet Hamel, who is the quartermaster, not the tailor, and he is able to provide you with a shield. And just because I like the sound of this, statistically, it's a basic shield, so you can get your +1 to, or your +2 to defense. But he kind of says like, well, really, most of what we have is magical items, but honestly, most of the shields that we had are rather burned up from the fire excursion. The last one that we have here is a bit of a practical joke. And he hands it over to you, and it's this shield that's made out of kind of this dark wood with little light tan stripes in it, and it's shaped like a face for the decoration of the shield, and the face is kind of like in a battle scowl. Sometimes my students who follow me in the magical crafting have great ideas. And then sometimes they have this. And he focuses on the shield as he holds it up a second, and it turns into like a child's puking face look like. Please get it out of her.
Alright, I like it.
And I hate it, and but I won't tell my student that because I'm trying to encourage them, even if they do make something completely stupid. You can just focus on it for a moment, and you can change the expression on the shield. It's not my cup of tea. So you can add a shield of expression to your inventory. Yes. Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you leave?
I would stop by the headmistress and just apologize for not having the walk. And I would tell her that I'll see her again sometime.
Excuse me. Alright. Leo, as you walk in, she's a little surprised. Oh, have you been drinking?
Yes, but I had to have listened to very long stories.
Oh, my apologies for making you suffer. The purpose of my new university.
Oh no. These were people talking about that was my friends. Don't worry.
Gotcha.
Anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to stop by and tell you that I'm sorry I couldn't go for the walk last night because Margot, she was trapped in a dream realm, and we went into the dream realm, and there was nightmares in there. But it was okay because we could have died. No, never mind. But we are leaving, so I do hope to see you again.
That may be the most bizarre farewell I've ever received in my life.
You'll think about it.
I most certainly will. I expect that will be on repeat in my mind for days. I very much so like to see you again at some point too.
Lovely. We'll take good care of Dolphin. He's a good guy. I like him.
He is inquisitive beyond the norm, even for a respected institution of learning.
I did notice that.
He, as far as I can tell, he quite literally doesn't have an off switch for it.
It's okay, because Dro does.
That sounded far too specific and immediate to be coincidence. The point I was trying to make, though, is please take care of him. He wants to know so much. And there is so much about life he still has to learn. He could probably use some help, though.
Sounds good. We'll take good care of him.
I very much so appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Yeah. Do you have a last name?
This has been asked of me once before, and I thought of one, but... Oh yeah, what I told you is I don't associate with my last name. So he would just say, no, just Leo.
Very well. The man who has no last name and the woman who is overly bound to hers. What a pair we make, eh?
Soon to be. And he'll give her a little wave as he walks out.
Oh my. You hear, like, as you kind of walk off, some of her whiskers, like, you see it just, like, very briefly, her whiskers kind of, like, straighten up a little bit and, like, surprised.
Nice.
Okay. And as you all go around and kind of gather your things, get the rest of your compatriots together, and begin to head back. How do you all expect to get down?
Well, if there's carriage rides, like, we gotta... Where does the carriage pick up?
Oh, you guys are at the Whitewater College, not at Ripple Top or
But we gotta get to the
Knowledge
top.
Falls.
Okay.
You're high right now.
Yeah.
Portal.
That's fine.
Girl just goes to the
Would I know
waterfall.
how to get down?
Yes, you do, Duffin.
I will go down the way that I normally would go down. Well, that's a pretty nice way down.
So, Duffin leads the way back over to this area. I'm just going to move the whole lot of you.
turn around and look at everyone. He goes, "It is quite simple. It does not require any thought whatsoever. You simply walk through this little portal. Make sure you walk through it, okay? And you know how earlier I took off all of the water? Yes?
Yep.
Yes, cool. Now this time around, what you do is you walk through it and then you jump off the waterfall. It is rather quite simple." And he's going to do exactly that. He just walks through the portal, and then he just hops off the waterfall.
Oh, but he can breathe in water.
As he goes, and like as you guys kind of like rush over and like look at him, you see him basically doing like a slow glide down in the water. And then he kind of reaches below the illusion and kind of disappears.
Okay, who's first?
Bro's already going. I'm pulling Yaslin because we've seen this. We've seen people come down this.
Okay, all right. If you guys are going, I'll hop in line or I'll go.
Mm-hmm. And you all do so, and you've been affected by Seamus's Featherfall spell, and this feels a little bit the same, just a bit more supportive, as the water around you kind of almost pushes slightly against you in the waterfall as you fall down, and your breathing doesn't seem to have any problems. And you glide down to Knowledge Falls. And let me position this. I feel like quite a bit is different since last time we were here, including your tokens. You all float back down gently to the base of the waterfall, and as you land not deep within a pool, but on the surface of the water. As you come out, your bodies are transparent. You can walk across the surface, and as Leo is the first to get across, as soon as his feet touch land, his body reappears. Then you are all back at Knowledge Falls, where you have not been for several days, about a week at this point. And the chaos of the fire has subsided. And you guys are welcome to kind of start touching in, or checking in with anybody that you like, or just kind of continue on through. But since we're missing a couple of our party tonight at this point, let's go ahead and wrap up there.